Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today we are going to be talking about the Star Wars comics for November 2022. So I am actually kind of recording this early, and then I'm going to attach on the other stuff for the last week, if there is, because usually we get about 8 Star Wars comics a month, and I got 8 right now, so who knows, maybe next week, or tomorrow for me, there's going to be nothing, so this whole thing might be mute. I apologize if it is. But yeah, so let's get into it. We're going to start with Bounty Hunters number 28. Again, just doing this sound for a mark, so I apologize. But yeah, so the team finds a way to escape the Pikes. Valance is assigned to help Bestine, and Tonga is assigned to basically steal something from Bestine. This is a very slow series and kind of boring for me, as you guys know, so this issue was no different. I gave it a 5 out of 10, just honestly how I felt about it. Next, though, is the new Hidden Empire number 1. So this picks up after, or this is the trilogy of comic series of War of the Bounty Hunters, Crimson Reign, and now we got Hidden Empire. Kira does her play finally. Palpatine's retaliates with Inferno Squad cameo, so Inferno Squad will be coming against the Crimson Dawn. Kira ends relations with the Knights of Ren, also by torturing them, and she also is trying to, from what we could tell, resurrect a Sith Lord. I gave this a 10 out of 10 for the cameos and the possibility that we might be getting Darth Revan, maybe? Or Darth Nihilus? Maybe some Old Republic Sith, that would be cool. But I'm not putting too much expectations, because that Sith is going to have to die by the end of the series, because we don't see them in Return of the Jedi. Next is High Republic number 2. So Cardin is alive. They track down their would-be killer. The killer is actually a private investigator, and they go to the Temple of the Wills. This is kind of a slow start of a series. I don't really like Cardin that much as a main character. I kind of think he's like a Qui-Gon wannabe, but also not at the same time. Just like a boring version of Qui-Gon, I feel like. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Next is Dr. Aphra number 26. We're continuing the Spark Eternal arc. Tolva gets in Aphra's mind for a minute, and the Sparks kicks everyone's ass in this, like, insanely, and also is able to manipulate Ko and make her turn to Crimson Dawn, and also 000 and BT-1 become her partner. And the Spark decides it's going to hunt the Sith, as in Vader and Palpatine. Next is Han Solo and Chewbacca number 7. We get to see that Han does find a way off planet, and Chewie ends up faking his own death by eating something. Maz ends up freeing Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, which obviously is going to lead to them going to Tatooine and Jeddah. And Han ends up rescuing the crew. I gave that one an 8 out of 10. Next was Star Wars number 29 of the main line. So after everything, the gang ends up on vacation due to Haldo's idea, but she also is trying to find a path engine, so they end up stealing that. We get to see some of the High Republic lore, and they end up in No Space, which, for those of you that don't know, is where the Nile hung out during the High Republic eras, which I'm loving those High Republic callbacks. Next is Star Wars Yoda number 1. This is possibly before the High Republic era, and people are getting attacked by pirates. Yoda comes to save the day, and he decides to stay for a while on planet, and the pirates decide to retaliate. I gave that a 9 out of 10. Next is Star Wars Revelations, which is kind of, in my opinion, it feels like it's a preview comic of what's to come. Basically, Vader sees the future and it ends up spoiling future comics, ironically enough. And then we get the whole, this is going to be the end of the Force, then the end of everything, which one doesn't work with this because we are before Return of the Jedi. We know that there's at least 30 more years of content in this, and I also just don't like the whole, oh, it's the end of the world arc. I don't need to hear that for Star Wars. Alright, so there's actually 3 comics that got released today. So first we're going to talk about Darth Vader number 29, which, everything's falling. I apologize. Darth Vader number 29. So Dorme goes undercover as Sabe. In this, Sabe is on Skako Minor, where she meets Jewel Tambor and talks to him. Dorme ends up confronting Vader, where he figures out that it's Dorme almost immediately. And Sabe ends up killing Jewel Tambor. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Next up, we got Dark Horse's Comics Star Wars Hyperspace Stories number 3. It's a Finn and Poe story. They are looking for livestock. They find ship parts that they need during this hunt. They're also dressed as cowboys in this, which I thought was funny. And they end up finding a First Order presence where they're actually stealing the parts as well. And in the end, they end up doing a train heist and succeeding against the First Order. I gave that a 8 out of 10. And next we have Star Wars The High Republic Adventures number 1 from Dark Horse Comics right here. And Sav Malgan is the main character in this. If you guys don't remember Sav Malgan, she's in the High Republic manga as well as some of the High Republic Adventure comics of Volume 1. It takes place on Takodana, and of all people that I didn't expect to see, we saw Dexter Jester. She ends up teaming up with him to take down some pirates, and she ends up becoming a pirate herself. Obviously, that's not going to stick. She's going to go back to the Jedi, but I gave that a 9 out of 10. Sorry, I hit the space button. So, my pick for this month is got to be, the pick of this month is definitely Hidden Empire number 1. It was just so cool to see those cameos and everything build up and everything. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me out on my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan telling you, have an amazing day.